Okay, so mail merge can be a very powerful tool for writing and sending personalized letters or emails to many different people at the same time. You can use it to create envelopes or labels with each recipient's information. And mail merge imports data from another source, such as an Excel spreadsheet, and then uses that data to replace placeholders throughout your message with the relevant information for each individual you're messaging. You can use it to quickly create personalized messages for hundreds of people at the same time. There are 3 necessary documents involved in creating a mail merge. The first one is your main document. The second is your data source, and the third is your merged document. Your main document is the document that you want to create a number of personalized messages from. It can be labels, it can be an email, or a letter. And today we're going to work with a letter. So I have here a letter that we can use that I'd like to send out to say to all of my contacts. And in order to come up with the second document that we need, the data source, I'm going to show you how to export your contacts from Moxie Engage in an Excel spreadsheet. So being that the second thing that we will need in order to complete the mail merge is the data source. So today we're going to go into Moxie Engage by logging on to the hub, clicking on Engage. And this is your view here. Okay, so once you're logged in onto Engage, you select People and choose My People. From here, all you have to do is click on Export, and then you have the option to choose either a CSV file or you can print mailing labels directly out of Moxie if that's what you choose to do. But since we're doing a mail merge today, we're going to export a file. And from here, we can choose, if you have people in Moxie Engage set up in different groups, you can pick and choose which groups that you want to include in your mailing. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to select all people and then click Done. Then it asks me to confirm my export. I click Export. I click on Save and then Open. This is going to open the Excel spreadsheet with the information that I've entered into Moxie. I have a fairly limited amount of information in here because I've only included a couple of samples of information that I want to use for today's mail merge. So what I'm going to do with a bunch of these columns here, because this gives everything that you may have included in Moxie Engage, it's going to pull all of those categories. I'm going to delete a bunch of these columns just so we can see what we're working with here as far as relevant information. So this gives us a document to use as the data source. And now that we eliminated some of those fields that we're not going to use, we can see what we're working with on the screen. The one column that you want to make an adjustment to before you go back to your main document to do the mail merge is the zip code address. So this is the home address zip code. And what you want to do is select this column, choose Format Cells under the Format tab. Under the category, you choose Special, and then you want to make sure zip code is selected. What this does is lets Excel know that that column is a zip code, so the 0 will appear in the first, in front of the zip code, so that the 5-digit zip code is there and can be imported then into our mail merge document. The next thing that you want to check as far as the Excel file is concerned is that the headings of each of the columns are named something appropriate. So the columns that you're going to want to use in your mail merge are most likely going to be the names as well as the address of each of the people that you're going to be mailing to, since we're doing a letter this time. So as long as it's the first column is named first name, last name, and then we have a specific name for each of the portions of the address that we're going to bring into the mail merge in our main document. Then you're going to want to save this someplace convenient so that you're going to be able to go back and refer to it. I'm going to save it to my desktop so that we can go back and get it once we go back into our other document to do the mail merge. Okay, now we can close out of this and go right back to our letter. So here I have the letter that I'd like to send out to all of my contacts that I've downloaded from Moxie Engage. So what we're going to do now is start the mail merge wizard, which is going to be the step-by-step walking us through what we need to do to complete the mail merge. So you can see on the right-hand side here that you have the choice to do either letters, envelopes, email messages. Today we are going to do a letter, and since we already have the letter open here, and that's the document type we want, we're going to click Next. We have the document that we are going to use open, so use the current document is selected. We can go ahead and hit Next to select recipients. From here, you have the option of you can either pull contacts directly from Outlook, you can type a new list, or you can type names directly into your Word document. But since we have downloaded our contacts from Moxie Engage, we are going to browse for that Excel file that we already downloaded. Once you select and open the Excel spreadsheet, you're going to get this Mail Merge Recipients window. This window gives you the opportunity to unselect anyone that you don't want to get this particular mailing. So if you chose a group out of Moxie Engage that you want to send a mailing to, but there were a couple individuals on that list that you did not want to get that particular mailing, this gives you the opportunity to click the checkbox next to that person's name and unselect them. Once you've made sure that all the checkboxes are next to people that you do want to do the mailing to, you can click OK. And now that you've chosen your list, you can go next to write your letter. From here, you have the option to choose the address block, which is going to put in the entire address block with the name, address, city, state, and zip code from your Excel spreadsheet. But because you may not have the columns in your spreadsheet named the exact names that Microsoft Word is going to be calling them, what I choose to do is add one item at a time. So I click on More Items, and that's going to allow me to select from the column headings that we had in our actual data file that we're using to do the mail merge. So from here, I first select first name, but because I want to create the spaces and do the formatting, so the way it's going to look in the end document, I close that, I put a space between the first and last name, go back to More Items, choose the last name, insert, close this window, go to my next line where I'm going to put the address, home address street, and close, next line, and on this line I'm going to want to add the city, state, and zip. I insert the city, put my comma and another space, insert the state, space, and then the home address zip code. Oops. Only once. Okay, and then I can go down and again I can put a personalized greeting on my letter and repeat the first name column here as well. And then we're done adding all the fields to our letters. Once you've entered all the fields, you can click here to next to preview your letters. From here you can toggle through the contacts that you've exported from your data source. And we can see that the formatting turned out the way we want. The addresses are there and complete. The salutation is there. And from here you can complete the merge. Now from this screen you have the choice of either completing the merge directly to the printer, or you can choose to edit individual letters. I like to see what it's going to look like, especially if I'm merging a large number of documents. If I've got a lot of contacts that I'm sending the same letter to, I want to be able to spot check and make sure that they all look the way they're supposed to, so they do look personalized and individualized when I end up printing them out. So I like to click Edit the Individual Letters. I'm going to choose All, click OK. And this creates a new document for me. So from this document, since I only had a couple in here for demonstration purposes, it's only going to have 3 pages. But if you had, anywhere from a dozen to 100 to a couple of hundred, it would have populated with those same steps, all those contacts into your letter. So from here, you can take a look and make sure everything looks the way you want it to look before you send it directly to the printer. So I'm going to open it up to questions if anyone has any specific questions, but that is how simple it is to export the contacts from Moxie and directly put them right into a Word document to do a mail merge. So you can do a personalized letter to any of your contacts in Moxie. I'm going to open up for questions now if anyone has any. Okay, if anyone needs to reach out with any specific questions, you can feel free to contact me, but hopefully that has shown you how simple it is to export a file and use mail merge to send out a personalized letter to all the contacts in your database. Thank you very much for joining me today. Again, we will have recorded this webinar and we'll upload it onto the hub so you can listen to it anytime if you want to use it to walk through the steps to do this on your own. Have a great afternoon. Thanks a lot.